up, everybody? SuperRhino57 here with another mod tutorial going back to Applied Energistics. This is part 2. I will not be showing any crafting recipes, but I will be showing more in depth of ways to use your ME network. First and foremost, I just want to show you this little basic tooltip real quick. When making the different cables, there are a bunch of different colors, but something to remember: colors do not connect. Only the fluids will connect to everything, because that's just the basic. There's no coloring in it, so it connects to everything. But as you can see, the blue cable won't connect to red or white, and see the red is connecting to the fluids, but back here it's not connecting to the lime. So just a little bonus tooltip: if you're wanting to use different colors, realize you have to use that color all the way through or they won't connect. Now, as you can see, there are different types of cables as well. Here we have some smart cables up top. You got some just basic ME cables right here, and then covered cables, and then last, of course, the dense cable. The difference is the ME cables are the basic, the smallest. That's really all they are. It's just a basic cable. They have 8 channels, which I'll get more in depth over what channels are over there, but you can't see anything. Now if you get up to smart cables, you see it says 0 out of 8 channels in use. Okay, so that's what the smart cable does. It actually shows you how many channels you have available. Okay, covered cables are same as the regular cables. They just show 8, or they just have 8, but they don't show anything. But then you get up to dense cable. You see how fat it is. It has 32 channels. That's the one I would recommend, because obviously you can do a lot more with it. That's what I'm using all over there. And you see it says 0 out of 32. Okay. So anyways, going over here, I am going to show you, we have auto crafting, and we have a lot of transfer of data. First and foremost, the auto crafting. There are 2 things that will be required. First is this kind of setup right here. It's a crafting setup. You have crafting storage, which is what contains all the items. Whenever you tell it to craft something, it will put them in here. So that's the more storage you have, the more amount of items you can craft. So say I wanted to make, let's find a good recipe real quick. Okay, a dense cable. Dense cable is crafted by, oh wait, that's black. Okay, it's crafted by 4 covered cables, redstone, glowstone, and then a covered cable is crafted by glass cable and wool. Glass cable is made by quartz fiber and flux crystals, and then quartz fiber is made by all this. Okay, if I didn't have anything but the basic raw material, then with all this extra storage, it would be able to take every single item and then just craft it step by step. But if I only had, say, just a 1K crafting storage, it wouldn't be able to fit everything, and so it wouldn't be able to craft it. Okay, what the channels are, real quick, is each device requires 1 channel. As you can see, I got a bunch over here, and so that is taking up 28 channels out of the 32. Once you use all 32, it will not let you add any more. You'll see, like right over here, it just kills it. It won't be able to connect anything. Okay, and I'll explain a way to fix that too. So over here we have our molecular assembler, and what this does is it actually has, you put the patterns in, which I'll show you the patterns, don't worry, and whenever you tell it to craft something, it gets all the items over here, transfers over here for crafting. So this will actually assemble the items. Okay, so as my example showed, let's go dense cable. It will actually have the 4 covered cables, have the recipe, and then put out 1 dense cable, or however many you tell it to. Okay. First and foremost, what you're going to need, you got your basic ME setup, which I showed you in the last video, and I've got my crafting terminal, my pattern terminal, and an interface terminal. The interface terminal will allow me to view every single interface on my network. what the interfaces are, I've got them attached right here, is that's what allows you to attach the recipe to the item. So in this case, the molecular assembler, I put a crafting recipe in there, and thereby if I tell it to craft anything, and it'll go through, find the recipe in here, and says, okay, this one has the recipe, this is what I'm going to use to craft. Or not just crafting. I've got some Ender.io machines over here. I got some interfaces on the back, and you can actually put in what's called, let me see, oh, wrong one, a processing pattern, in which case you have to have one output or however many the recipe makes, and you can actually say, okay, if you like put these 6 items in here, it'll put out this item. And I've got an example set up for you for the slice and splice from Ender.io. I have a zombie electrode, and real quick, let me pull up the recipe. One zombie electrode, you see, requires 2 energetic alloys, a zombie head, capacitor, and silicone. Okay, which I have all the items in there except for the energetic alloy. Reason being is because I have my alloy smelter right here. And you can see I have my energetic alloy recipe: 1 gold ingot, 1 redstone, and 1 glowstone. So if I tell it to craft a zombie electrode, it'll pull up the recipe and says, okay, I need energetic alloy. It says, oh, I have a recipe for energetic alloy. And it sees over here, so it'll send the items over here first, get the energetic alloy, and then put them over here. Okay, but the interfaces is what allows it to communicate between the machines and the actual network. And so the way you get the patterns is through the pattern terminal. You have to craft what's a blank pattern. Let's see, blank pattern. You see, it's a very simple recipe. You get a bunch of them. In fact, I've got a recipe in there for it. So I'm going to tell it to craft 10. You see, it tells you, okay, these are all the items I need, and they're lit up, which means it has everything in there. So I'm just going to hit start, and you see the number going up. It's crafting them for me. And boom, 10 more blank patterns. Okay. So you put your blank pattern in here, and we're just going to do a crafting recipe first. So if you click over here, you can switch between processing and crafting. So crafting recipe, we'll start simple. We're just going to do a furnace. And so you recognize the recipe, so there's the furnace. So you just hit the encode pattern, and there is your furnace pattern. Now, once you have that pattern, as you saw, I flew over there and I was viewing the interface directly, or if you have an interface terminal, it shows you all the items. Okay, so I got my sag mill for silicone, I got my slice and splice, and then all my molecular assemblers, which is what I use for crafting. So I'm just going to put this right in here, and now it has a furnace recipe. So if I go back over here, let's see, there it is, 1 furnace recipe. It says I need 8 cobblestone to craft 1 furnace. Start. There's my furnace. And now let me show you how to attach it. See, I'm just gonna put it right here. See, yes, you can even attach just a basic furnace. And shift click, put my interface on the back. And you do need a smaller cable. The dense cable won't connect. So in this case, I'm using the red covered cable. And it's connected. It says device missing channel, and now it's online. Okay, it takes a minute for it to recognize it. So let's get some fuel real quick. And I'll just put some logs in there, I don't care. Okay, and I have a recipe right here. Yes, 1 gold ingot for 1 gold ore. I'm gonna put that over here. So now, if I come over here and tell it to craft 2 gold ingots, it'll send the gold ore over there. It takes a minute for it to process, as the furnace usually does. So we'll just give that just a moment. Actually, real quick while this crafting, let's see if I can come over here and view it. That's strange. Okay, sorry about that. I was wondering why it wasn't working. Um, Apparently for vanilla machines like a furnace, you have to have some sort of additional stuff to input and output. And I've forgotten that used to I would use like nodes from extra utilities to take the items out of the interface, put them into the furnace, and then another node to take it out of the furnace back into the interface. Because they're vanilla, they don't have any kind of machine-like interface, whereas these I have them configured in the back, so you got input and output. So that's why the furnace wasn't working. So sorry about that. But anyway, so I'm gonna put the gold recipe back in the alloy smelter. Okay, so let me show you the alloy smelter and prove to you how that works. Tell it 10, start. And I've got the alloy smelter upgraded, so it will be really quick. See, look at that. 9 and 10. There we go. And see, it's crafted all my gold. We'll put these in there. So now for the other stuff, the zombie electrode. There we go. Let's craft one. See, it says I need gold to make the energetic alloy. Redstone, glowstone, silicone. So you'll never see it show up in here because it keeps everything in the storage in the back that I was showing you. So if we give it just one moment, it's in the slice and splice right now, as you just saw. And there it is. So that's how you make your ME network auto craft for you. Now, what I was explaining earlier about the 32 channels, there is a way around it. As you can see, as you saw over here, there's 28 channels. But look at all these machines over here that are not online. Okay, it's because they're not communicating with the matrix over here. And the way we get around that is with a P2P tunnel. Okay, what the P2P tunnel does is it communicates from right here into one channel to an adjacent P2P tunnel over here, directly in, where it has access to more channels. Okay, so connect one P2P tunnel over here next to the controller, and then one separating the other devices. And then you need a memory card. Okay, go up to one, shift right click it, it says successfully save settings. Go over to the other one and just right click it, successfully loaded. Wait for it. Give it just a sec. There they are. See, now they're online. And you may not notice this before, but I have coal and iron in those storage over there, and so now I can see them, so I know it's communicating. And in fact, I can see everything from right here too. So that's a way to get around if you don't have enough channels. You can just stretch it out a little bit, use a P2P tunnel. Now, a P2P tunnel is not just meant for that. There are other uses, which I've got set up over here. You can set up a P2P tunnel to transfer fluids. If you just attach a P2P tunnel and right click it with a water bucket, it'll change it to fluid mode. Or in this case, I've got it set up to transfer RF from Ender.io. Okay, so again, take your memory card, shift right click, because right now they're attached, but they don't know what to communicate to. So we got to shift right click it, come over here to this one, and you see this one's got a lot more space for energy. I've got it set up so this one will draw energy from that one once I load it. And there it goes. See, now it's taking energy from over here. Okay, and I've already got this one set up so that if I put a bucket of liquid XP in there, it's going to drain it. Let's attach several just so you can see it. It's going to suck it out through there. You see that number's not getting any higher because it's going into the ME network and coming out over here. See, it's going up in this drum. Okay, and I'm sure you're wondering, well, how will that help? Well, because I now have liquid XP, energy, and my machines all communicating through this one line of cables. See what I'm saying? You don't have to have everything have its own separate line. So it's a compressor. It does, in fact, save a lot of space, save a lot of time. So hopefully that helps with getting your ME network a little bit more expansive and getting further along. If you have any questions or comments, leave one down below. Hit a like if you enjoyed the video or if it helped at all. And there will be one more part coming up because there's one more big thing about applied energistics that I would like to cover that I don't think I have time for in this video. But anyways, I hope this helps, and I hope y'all have a great day. Bye! Wow, that was hoarse. Sorry.